Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is adverb phrase 40. The adverb phrase today is for crying out loud. Okay, let's take a look at the board here. If someone wants a screenshot. All right, let's get right into it. If someone says for crying out loud, one is expressing frustration or annoyance. For crying out loud, what are you doing? Something like that. Let's continue. The origin is believed to originate from the expression for Christ's sake. This is another example of a term created in order to avoid taking the Lord's name in vain. That may be offensive to some people, especially religious people. All right, so what do we mean by that? If you take the Lord's name in vain, you use the name of like Christ or the Lord or Jesus in a way that's not really suitable, in a way like, sometimes when you might say, oh shit or oh damn, you shouldn't be using God's name in that sense. You're using it in a useless way. And a lot of people might think that might be disrespectful. So that's why over time, some people didn't want to say for Christ's sake. They didn't feel like you were using Jesus's name or Christ's name in a proper way, so they just created a completely new term. And you might even think about that, like over the years when we're saying for crying out loud, people might think, why are we saying for crying out loud? First of all, who's crying? Is the person that's complaining crying, or is somebody else crying? What does this have to do with crying? And it was just completely created because I guess it was, it had the for, and the cry, I guess, was similar to the sound of Christ. So they just changed it. So you had a term, something you could say to express the same frustration, to express the same annoyance, but without offending anyone. All right, let's continue. The term seemed to become popular in the early 1900s. Thus, it is basically a euphemism. Remember, a euphemism, that's when we create a word that's a better word for another word that, again, might be offensive or somebody may not like. Euphemism for saying Christ's sake. Okay, good. All right, and we got 4 examples of exactly how you may hear it used. Here's the first one. For crying out loud, get off that couch and help me clean up. Yeah, somebody will usually do that. They'll probably, say it in a higher voice like that to show their annoyance, to show their frustration. Yeah, for crying out loud, stop making so much noise in here. This might be a parent saying this to children or somebody making a lot of noise, disturbing people. You're worried they might be disturbing the neighbors or something like that. Let's continue. For crying out loud, what a mess you made in here. Maybe they, had a lot of things on the floor or, it was very messy, not tidy. For crying out loud, stop wasting time. We are going to be late. So it's very common. It's used in everyday situations like this. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. I hope it was very informative for you. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.